humans are weird. Humans are often contradictory when it comes to these things. That we can recognize something that's good, for us, something that we say we want, but then when it shows up, maybe they don't like how it's presented to them, or what have you. I don't know. It could be like you said, past experience. All the dudes that they like wouldn't act like this.
Okay, that's it.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Buffet Podcast with your host, Brandan. Oh, shit. I got to do the sound stuff, and we're going to miss it. And Ciandra. There we go. You're back. You got it. That music back. Ooh.
100th episode.
100th.
It wasn't technical difficulty.
It's my time.
Clerical.
Sure. Episode 100.
100. We took it over for the 99s and the 200s.
There you go.
2023.
2023.
Oh, tree.
Dang, 100 episodes deep. That's crazy.
They only saw the top of my fist, so I don't think I'm gonna get flagged, but
they saw that begin. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. Even if you can't see the emotion, I feel like y'all can hear it in our tonage. What's going on? Deep. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
You don't drink those.
I do.
I know you do.
See. Now,
I try to get the people to believe something that was unreal.
Yeah. So today is our 100th episode. Now, we got a special. Fan letter and a little package that was delivered to us a couple weeks ago with instructions to only open it during the 100th episode. So hopefully this isn't anything nefarious, because we don't have the technology to be doing those type of scans and things of that nature. So
that's true. But you can always cut it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're still alive.
Oh, you meant nefarious in that? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
so,
and
also, if it's anything wild, like I mentioned, like last episode, like it could be some sort of phallic instrument or something along those lines.
With the buffet pie.
Yeah, let's hope it's not that. So, with all that being said, before I get into that, if you haven't already, I need y'all to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to run these numbers up. You know what I'm saying? We are, I lost track of how many we at now, but I feel like we're pushing 80 or so right now. But
100 first.
We getting close.
100.
Yeah, so
that's all we need.
We're trying to get 100. So hopefully we can get to get to 100 before our 110th episode.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to 200 by the end of the year.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Maybe I'm aiming too small. Maybe I'm aiming too small. So, each and every one of y'all listeners.
Abundance. There's more than enough of y'all out there to listen to us, taking this wisdom, ask these questions of your partners, engage with the content. Y'all exist. Now do right.
It's enough of y'all be listening. You know what I'm saying? Enough of y'all, be following us on the IGs and stuff like that. And I need to go ahead and, go ahead, do that extra step. Follow us on YouTube's, subscribe, fuck with your people, fuck with the buffet. We trying to feed the streets.
I gotta feed the streets.
All right. That being said, we finna go ahead and get right into it.
Amuse
boost. I found this one, just through my regular scrollings of IG. Y'all may or may not have already heard about it, but it's a young gentleman on here got on IG and just talking about the difficulties of him, trying to find a good date. The man's got stood up, and he's like, he's a stand up dude trying to do everything he's supposed to do. But let me not tell the whole story. Let me give y'all a little piece of it, the whole piece of it. Excuse me. Here we go.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time. I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right, and I just get stood up. Like my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like, alien dating shouldn't even be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love. To be kind to one another. Like, what? Ladies, tell me, what did I do wrong?
And of course, you know what I'm saying, I had, because I know that this is a situation where a man is being vulnerable. So I went in and, you know, checked the comments, because I know when man being vulnerable, especially black men, no one gives a fuck. Mm-hmm. They usually light his ass up. And I was expecting women to come for his ass on this one. And surprisingly, it wasn't like that. It wasn't that. You know, a lot of the dudes was like, "Hey, welcome, come to the gym, my bro." And I'm saying they won't betray you. Like, you know, they say they want good man, but they really don't. They lying, bro. Like keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? They out there. And also a couple of them was like, first of all, you need to fire your barber. So you get you a good lineup. You know what I'm saying? They were saying,
was that other men?
There was other men saying, get you a barber, come to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's saying we'll get you right. And, you know, and a lot of like, yo, she did you wrong. You know what I'm saying? All these women always said, they kept reiterating, like, when a woman say they want a nice dude, a good guy, but they're not going for that. It's like, you just got to take the L and keep it moving. And of course, I saw one. It was like, did you even reach out to her to see? She could have got into a car accident. Why you didn't reach out to her and see how she was doing it? Like, I'm like, damn. Mm-hmm. But surprisingly, it wasn't a lot of women coming after him. A lot of women was like, hey, I would love a man to do this for me. I love, like, mm-hmm. Woman did you wrong. It's like, oh, I feel faith in humanity restored.
Okay, that's good to hear. I mean,
so what do you think?
I would assume that women can be empathetic. As much as women complain about ghosting on the back end after a couple of days, a man just disappearing, I would hope that they could be empathetic to a man having an experience where he was stood up. I went on a date with someone once who said that they had been stood up a couple of times. And I do think that it happens. I do think that is wrong. But I also think that it happens to a specific type of man. And that is not a shot at this particular type of man. It's more a shot at that type of woman, or the woman who is doing that to him. But I do think that, like, if you're kind, if you overextend yourself, if it seems like you are someone who is being nice and women are not used to men being nice to them, you run the risk of an experience like this. Or, like, okay, we're engaging, we're having conversation, but in that conversation, I'm not necessarily getting the sense that you like me, I'm not giving off any signs necessarily maybe that I like you. Maybe your perception is the continued conversation is a sign that I like you. My perception is a continued conversation is entertainment for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I think there's a lot of those out there. There's a lot of mismatch sometimes when you think, like, oh, I'm having conversation with this person, we're getting to know each other, we're talking, whatever. That means that they're interested in me. And once we meet up for a date, they're going to be interested in me. And I don't necessarily think that that's 100% true, which is why I feel like a couple of things could be done differently for his future dating experiences. But I don't think that he did anything wrong. And I think that that's a part of the problem. The negative consequence of somebody standing you up, somebody ghosting you, is if you're the type of person who is kind and sweet and, like, you want to do right, you want your person, you start to think that there's something wrong with you. Right. And there isn't anything wrong with you, but there are some opportunities for you to improve and change some things in your dating process to avoid that same outcome in the future. But that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that like that particular pathology of, like, something is wrong with me because I keep getting ghosted or people keep sending me up for a date, something is wrong with me, can have adverse long-term effects of, like, I'm not lovable or I'm never going to find my person. Like, you start to get into these absolutes, and those absolutes are very dangerous territory because say you find the next date you go on, that's it. That's the one. You locked in. You're doing good. You're going to start
But you're already feeling like you're not
already,
enough.
You are already in never.
I'm this never can't be right. This ain't right. She's gonna do me dirty. So I'm just gonna clock out right now.
I'm not gonna
clock out right now.
Exactly. So that's the dangerous part. Like you can have a negative experience, use that as data to help you make changes moving forward. It doesn't necessarily mean that anything's wrong with you.
I get that. I definitely, and I can agree with that. In this specific situation, yeah, the onus was on his date. Like, did him dirty. It was like, if she wasn't interested, there was no need for her to agree to the date and do all this. I imagine, I'm pretty sure he wasn't like, oh yeah, meet me here in 2 weeks, and then that was the last communication that happened. I'm pretty sure he was like, hey, what's good? This is what I think he said. I had the whole plan. I planned it out. I'm sure he communicated that plan. So that was an intentional. And to your point about a certain type of man, I think it was because he was nice. He came. He was over.
So sad.
He came off as overly. I would say that. I ain't gonna say he gave too much, but it was clear. The picture that I'm picking up is that the power was in her hands. It was more like I don't know.
Overly accommodating, probably.
There it is. Overly accommodating. It seems like he was just happy to be there. And for a lot of women, most women, that is not attractive to them. They want that nice guy from their man, but they don't want that. They don't want that before they become their man. That's when a woman say, "I want a nice man," they're thinking like, my man needs to treat me like this. But when you're out here just trying to attract a woman and stuff like that, that's not what's going to attract them. This is what's going to keep them.
That's an interesting theory. I like to follow that a little bit more, because how do you decipher that the man that you choose is going to be nice to you in your relationship if you don't see that while you're dating?
That is 100% true, but humans are weird. Humans are often contradictory when it comes to these things. That we can recognize something that's good, for us, something that we say we want, but then when it shows up, maybe they don't like how it's presented to them, or what have you. I don't know. It could be like you said, past experience. All the dudes that they like wouldn't act like this.
Okay, that's it.
They wouldn't act like this, but they imagine that they would be like this to their woman. So how they move, they talk with a little bit, they talk with a little bit more confidence, or they come off a little bit more aggressive, or they act like they don't give a fuck, or they're acting flaky. They'll make plans with you. They calling you at 9 p.m. trying to hook up with you at 10. That type of stuff. Like I've seen, or not necessarily seen, well, I've seen a little bit, and I've heard a lot of stories of just like the men that women choose, or like often find themselves frequently interacting with, are like not the men that they themselves would identify as what they want, but like they like how they look, they like the swag, they like what have you, and they hope that those men will act like this to them. Will morph and turn into that. So it's like they'll say, I want a nice man. I as a therapist, I've had several female clients with dating issues or difficulties, and they we identify what is the type of man that you're looking for, what would help you, what are you looking for, what would you like, what would make you feel good, how would you know you feel loved or wanted or whatever within the relationship. They'll list it all out, and then the next week they'll say, hey, I wanted a date, and it was like tumultuous leading up to it, but I pushed through anyway, gave up the cheeks, but he was a piece of shit, low key, because it was like the same. You keep going back to the one, what is I know I shouldn't have did it. I'm like, that, I think it's, on the low, I just feel like women don't know what they want. Women don't know what they want.
I think that women want more than they think they can get. And when you're in that space,
so women are habitual like line steppers. Like when it comes to like negotiation, I want this. Oh, I can get it. Okay, I want that. And something else. Oh, I can get that too. Okay, I want. That's not enough no more. I want. I want a little bit more than that. You gonna give it to me? Oh, no. I want a little bit more than that.
No, I'm more so saying that like I do think that there is a large cultural conversation about lack when it comes to the dating pool.
That's true.
And so if there's a scarcity mindset when you enter into the dating pool, you do feel like to a certain extent you got to settle for what you can get. So you try it out because you're like, well, at least it has this, and that. I'm going to try it out. Let me just see. Let me not limit myself. Let me not, put this limitation out there. It's already not enough men out there. Let me just see what's going to happen. Well, I'm here already. I should at least have some fun. I ain't got no dick in a while. Let me just see what it's hitting for. Then it's like, okay, well, I knew he wasn't worth anything, but I'm already out. I already got dressed. Like, I'm trying to have as much fun as possible. Let me get something out of this so it doesn't feel like it's a waste of time. So I don't think that women are completely ignorant about the situations that they put themselves into. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the combination of like the scarcity mindset, the idea that you don't want to limit yourself from an opportunity, maybe even the fantasy that people can change, like who he is now isn't who he's going to be 10 years from now. All of those things kind of combine. Women end up finding themselves in similar situations over and over again, dating the same type of man or giving the same type of man a chance. Because again, at least, sometimes I think that people can like at least themselves. Like, at least he got this, at least he got that. Let me just see. Let's just see.
Yeah, but I find that is giving more often to the futures of the world than this guy here.
Okay, but see, the let's just see for this guy was in my opinion, from my perspective, the let's just see for this guy was talking to him. The let's just see for this guy might have been like, I'll go, like a TV show, like I'll give it a couple of dates or I'll give it 3 days. Because I'd be curious to hear what the rest of his dating history and experience has been like. Mm-hmm. Like, this was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
I imagine it couldn't have been closer.
But this wasn't the only thing that has happened that has been a negative experience in his dating history. And I would bet that the negative experiences in the past have been more of, I'll give him a couple of days. I'll just see. And then something has has fallen off. Like exactly. That's the version of the let's just see for the nicer guys. Like, at least I'll go on a date with him. Mm-hmm. And there's also women who are like, I went out with a nice guy and he still played in my face. So I'm not doing that no more.
Oh, so like, I did a let's just see to like a nice guy, and then he still did me dirty. So at the very least, if I'm gonna get played, I'm gonna get played by something that I like to look at, or I feel that attracted to.
At least, again, let me try to get something out of it. And I think that that's again not a good place to be in. If you're in a place where you're like, one, let's just see, not in the sense of like, let's just see because I want to have fun, or let's just see because this could be a good experience. Mm-hmm. But let's just see because it's not enough out here. At least let me try and see if I can make this circle fit into this square. Like, let me just see what I can make happen. Or you're in a place where you're like, I've had negative experiences with the entire dating landscape. Good guys, bad guys, Christian guys, tall guys, short guys. I'm only going to choose what I want.
That's like, terrible.
At this point, I'm only going to prioritize. You have to have at least these 3 things.
At least you got money at this point. Everybody going to do me dirty. So at the very least, I'm saying, I'm at least going to get a Birkin out the bitch.
That's where you get to. Like, people get to a place where it's like, at least you have to have these things. And I would assume that that's probably heightened in major cities. LA dating market, we've seen multiple videos of people in the LA dating market, young, older, beautiful, whatever, and are like, it's hard out here. I want to have a family. Like I want to meet a man. I want to be able to settle down, and it's not happening for me. Crying on camera, man, woman, child, everybody sad.
Everybody crying on camera. I don't know. That's not a move, but. Yeah, I get you to the point, especially in the major cities. I'm definitely starting to see a lot of like, this is why it's so hard to date out here in Atlanta. This is why it's hard to date out here in Chicago, in New York, in LA. All the major cities are complaining about how difficult it is. Especially, I would say, all the people come to the major cities, so it's like you would think it would be easier because there's so much more of a population out here. But because of that large population, there's always that thinking of there's what I want. There's somebody else who's better than what I want. Like there's somebody who's going to meet all 5 of them. I mean, you got 4 out of 5, and I can see you could probably maybe get to the 5th one with time. But there's somebody who already got all 5 right now, ready to go. So I'm going to tell you to kick rocks.
Yeah. That's very true. That is,
this is men and women too.
That's true of the way that we date now, especially as people are on dating apps. if I swipe left on you and I don't choose you, there's someone who's going to pop up right after you.
Especially for women.
There's always an opportunity for me to meet someone new and potentially have an opportunity to develop a relationship with them. So I shouldn't settle because there are a plethora of options. But also, like as a woman, yes. But as a man, I think that's even more true. It's like there's always another woman, especially with the idea that there are more women than men. Mm-hmm. Like there's always another woman that's available. Maybe not available to you. That's the thing. But there's always another woman that is available.
Well, okay. First of all, to my understanding, it is a fact that there are more women than men. That's just like how it works out. For a woman, the illusion of choice is absolutely there, and it's true just off the dating apps. Just like any woman, most women that get on, I ain't gonna say any, but most women that get on dating apps, they are bombarded with matches. Like they'll put the phone down, pick it back up. It's 100 people just like swipe right on them. So I understand like it can be overwhelming, so to speak, and then you have to wade through that to figure out who's playing it, who's trying to play with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Who's just trying to trying to get their rocks off. Who's really trying to be whatever. And then of those people, how many do you actually want to fuck with? And then in order to do all that, you got to like interact with them. So I understand how that can be frustrating. On the guy side, it's not like that at all. So there is no illusion of choice for men. Like men are, I would say most men are pretty well aware of just like where they fall and like what their options are. What does that mean? They won't shoot, regardless? No, but in general, most guys know. I mean, realistically, if you have a shot, with a woman, I don't think the whole illusion of choice thing is as prevalent amongst men until status starts getting gets applied to it. So like the regular dude, they are aware that like the good woman, the woman that you want ain't. It's not everybody. That's not everybody. You're not going to find that high. You're just going to turn over a rock and there there she is. If you just looking to try to like beat down the block, so to speak. You're trying to play the field and you just trying to have fun. That's a different story. But when you're trying to bulk it down and like seriously trying to date, like my guy here was, that illusion of choice. I mean, that illusion of choices and options doesn't exist as prevalently for men as it does for women.
So give me, if we're in a major city, give me an idea of a percentage or a pool that is in fact an eligible bachelor, or in your case, an eligible bachelorette available for a man. Like if you're an average guy, you're like, okay, I know I'm batting in this range. I want to get serious. It's probably this percentage of women that might be a good fit for what I'm looking for.
Are we using like, we're solely dating through using apps?
I won't restrict it to apps. I'm just saying, like, how many people do you think are available?
Oh, I think what's available is
not just available in the sense of like you could hook up with them, like available, willing, ready, and interested in a relationship in a major city. How many bachelorettes do you think there are?
Probably a significant amount.
What's a significant amount? Give a percentage. I'm just curious.
What city are we using? I need
a major city.
Okay, so let's say this city has a population of, I don't know, say 5 million. 5 million people. Say half that are women, 2.5. Let's say it's 500,000 eligible women out here. Women, period. I would say maybe based off this, I'll say maybe a third of them are. I'd say about 2/3 of them are probably single or looking for or open to a relationship or just sex or what have you. Whether or not you're looking for a relationship or not, they're single. They're bachelor. I say about two-thirds of that 500,000, whatever that math is. Yeah, I say about 2/3. So there are a lot of women out there, but all of those women are very, you know what I'm saying? They're only giving time to specific men. Specific type of man. If you're not in their strike zone, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're not within these women's strike zone, it doesn't matter. You might as well just say they're not available. They're not available to you.
That's rough. Okay. So on my side, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think that I'm wrong or you have something to debate with this, I would say in any major city, there is probably 20% of the men are eligible bachelors, in the sense that like they're free and clear to be out here dating. They don't have any relationship ties, and they meet most basic standard. Well, never mind. 15%.
Damn, one just went down. Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to say meet most basic standards for women. And those basic standards are going to be like, you got a job, you got your own place, maybe you have your own car. Well, I think most women in a major city, you have your own car. Well, it depends on what city, right? Like you could, some means of transportation or a budget.
Reliable, yeah.
Yes, for reliable transportation. Yeah, 15%. So 15% to 2/3, which is what?
Well, if you're going by those demographics, those numbers should be higher. That can't be the basics can't be like you got a job, you got your own place, and an ability to get around.
And you're single, free and clear, like you don't have any ties to.
So that means no kids, no,
not necessarily no kids, but no ties to other women. You're not in any situation.
I'm single, but like I'm going through a divorce right now. So I mean, I think there should be more than I'm personally thinking it should be more. If you're just going off of those basic demographics, I definitely think it should be more than 15%. That being said, I'm not out here dating men or looking for men or trying to put that. Yeah, so you may know something I don't know, but I wholeheartedly believe that 15% is way too low a number for men that meet the standard. Nah, I'm not going for that one. For the standards that you just said.
Okay, so my thought process behind that, because I'm not dating men either. Like I'm dating you. I'm not in a relationship with anyone besides you. But I do think, and this may be reflective of that scarcity mindset. I do think that we think that there's a smaller pool of eligible men out in the world. So I think 15%, and please leave a comment.
Yeah, what y'all think?
We're going to post this because I'm curious to know what percentage people think exists. Because none of this is fact. This is all perception. This is all just a feeling. And if men are out here thinking that, I guess the other part is the distinction. You said there's 2/3 of women, but not all of those women are available to you. I'm saying it's 15% of men that are out there free, eligible, and available to most women. That's what I'm saying. Do you still refute that?
Yes.
Okay. So let us know in the comments what you actually think. What percentage in a major city, let me clarify the question. In a major city, what percentage of people within the 25 to 35 age demographic are single eligible bachelors and single eligible bachelorettes? Because I do think, again, that scarcity mindset exists because women think that there are not enough men to go around. So there's a let's just see, there's a at least he has kind of mentality when you're going out on dates that encourages you to give people who don't meet 100% of your standards, expectations, priorities, however you want to label it, give them a chance to entertain them to see if it could be something, and you end up ass out. And then you'd be like, well, let me at least get something out of it. What's that dicking for?
That's cute. I get that. I mean, I hear that. And I think that's one interpretation of why that happens, of like, let's just see.
Okay,
but I also believe that the let's just see is infinitely easier when you don't have any investment into the let's just see. So it's easier for women to say, I'm just going to go, and I'm not really feeling it right now, but I'm going to go anyway. No, but you ain't going to pay for shit. You don't have to you don't really have to invest anything but a little bit of your time. You're going to get fed. You're not just going to be look it up. You're going to be at least an attempt to be entertained is going to happen. So it's easier for you to be like, you know what I'm saying? I give, it's like going to a timeshare, like a timeshare thing. It's like, I don't want to fucking sit here for 4 hours about some shit that I know I don't really want to buy. But they offering you some tickets. They offer you some tickets to some shit that you want to do. They offering you something that you want on the back end of that. All right, I can sit here. You know what I'm saying? All I gotta do is just say no. Just keep saying no. No. As long as I'm here, you're gonna get something out of it. That's how I think. That's It could be. I could be biased, but and a little man jaded on this one. But I do think that plays a part in women's decision to let's just see.
I don't know if that is the primary consideration, but I do think that it's fair to say that it's a lower stakes, lower risk. There's lower investment for you. I mean, I got to look right? But even outside of the however many hours that we spend together on this date, all the other investments that I make into how I look, makeup, hair, whatever, I was already going to make those because I care about my standard of beauty and like how I present myself to the world. So usually that would be my retort, like, she invested something because she got her hair done, her makeup done, whatever. But
that's never been an excuse. That's only been an excuse amongst women. Men has always called bullshit on that, but we just never said it until recently. Like, oh, you got to get so you just be sloppy all day, every day. You go to how you dress when you go to work. You know what I'm saying? I
bought a new outfit for this.
That's not my business. That is not my business.
I'm just saying, when you're trying to compare costs and speaking about the investment, that was the investment that I made for this particular occasion. I made sure I look like something for you.
And I do too. As a man, I make sure, and I got to make sure I'm lined up too. Make sure I'm looking, smelling.
Okay, we're going down the wrong.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, to my point.
Hold on, because I wasn't finished.
Oh, my apologies.
What I was saying is that is a part of it, but I don't think that that's the major factor unless a woman is literally just trying to use a person for food.
Yeah, and which exists, but definitely not the majority.
That's not the majority. Like I said, I think that it's more of if I'm at a place of let's just see, let me give it my full effort. Let me go on 2 to 3 dates with this person. Maybe the first date they're nervous and I don't really know if they're showing up as their full, most authentic self. I should give them another chance.
That's real.
And that's why I think,
that's happened to me and I've done it.
Exactly. Let me just
Chick gave me a couple. I felt it. I felt it wasn't vibing off the first one, but she was like, "Hey, let's try to get a second one." It wasn't vibing. It was like, "Nah, let's go separate ways." It happened to me. I was like, "Damn, all right, took that L." I felt it. I can't even hold you. Then on the other hand, on the other side, like, she cute. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Let me try another. Let's give it another shot. You know what I'm saying? Let's try different. Let's
put us in a different environment.
Yeah, try a different environment. If that works out, okay, cool. We can. Okay, like something could be here. Maybe this might not be wifey, but it could be a few months. You can get a little something out of this. Of course, communication. I said it was mutually understood. But,
you share that? You can't be my wife. I think it was like we can have fun.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah. So it's happened towards me, and I've done it. So I agree with you on that.
Exactly.
Part.
So I don't think that it's either party is 100% the villain or a user in this situation.
Except the woman in this video, she was a villain.
She was unkind and she did make a poor choice and hurt this person's feelings. I'm not going to call her a villain.
That's okay. I did. She is a villain. She is the villain of the week.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm just using that. Nope. We need to keep the same energy for these women who be perpetrating against men, just like, you know what I'm saying, people be coming for dudes who be doing women dirty. We need to keep the same fucking energy. That's all.
Well, so see, another part of this conversation that I feel like people will have that people fall on different sides of is like, how much does a person owe you in terms of communication when you're early on in a relationship? If we're talking for 2 weeks and something happens and I'm no longer interested, do I need to have a breakup conversation with you?
No.
How do we end our communication in a way that isn't ghosting, but also doesn't require me to give you a 5-page letter about 4-page letter?
I hear that. That's a great point that you raise about what level of communication do you need. But like if we set an appointment, you owe me at least I can't make it. Mm-hmm. Or I'm just not going, and I know we said it, but I'm just not, I'm going to go ahead and have to cancel. You owe me that. You owe that. We owe each other that. If on either side, if you agree to something and then you suddenly decide not to, we made a verbal agreement. So I'm acting in good faith, and I show up, and you can't even shoot me a text. You owe that. You got to give me. Now, if we didn't have no dates or any kind of prior commitments that we mutually agreed upon in the works, then technically you can ghost me. I mean, it's very, it's not a proper thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe unethical, but it's not illegal. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to hunt you down and be like, chick, where you been? What's going on?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's fair. So what would you have this person do in this situation? What should the woman have done differently?
This is just, what is it? Communicate. This is simple communicate. If you want, first of all, if you weren't feeling him like that, don't agree to go out on a date. And even if it was like, oh, in a moment you felt it, and then you had second thoughts. I'm sure you had time between when you agreed until when he was telling you, hey, I got these plans, or this is what I got planned for us to do. This is where we're going to meet up at. This is the time. Hey, we still good. You had time between all that. Like, nah, I can't make that. Even on the last second, like, yo, I can't make. I can't make. You know what's the date? Like you said it, so you knew it was coming up. So it's not like it's coming as a surprise to you. So like if
I lost track of time.
Yeah. So if it's not,
I didn't know what day it was,
bro. That's happened to me.
I'm out of town.
That's happened to me before.
I lost track of time.
People was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm like, forgot.
They could be unorganized.
No. That could be true. It could be organized, but no. Not on some date shit. No.
If I'm unorganized, you're not. So now I'm disqualified. I'm
not. Yeah. My response is that's cool, but if we reschedule, it's on you. Dinner's on you. Change the whole tone of that shit.
What did the tone change to?
She was like, "What? Ha ha ha!" Never talked to her again. Yeah, she was like, "LOL, for real." Yeah.
You played in my face, ho. Yeah, I was like, why were you already there?
No. She at that time I was pretty hip, so like she was like not communicating in return. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna fall back and wait until she hit. I'm not gonna go over there, and then it turns out, oh, I can't make it. So let me just see what's going on, because like you said, people be working, people don't be checking their app, which I was like, but I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, man, who the fuck don't be communicating on the day you have a date? So I'm like, let me chill. She hit me up like after the fact, like, oh yeah, sorry, I completely forgot. Like, okay. Okay. So I was like, at that point, I was like, I have nothing invested here. Let me just throw some shit out there. I was like, all right, you're cool. Let's rebook it, but you paying. And then let's see what happened. Just see what happened. I might be surprised, and she'll be like, yeah, of course, I fucked up. I got this. I'm like, oh, word, okay, let's get it. But she was playing like, all right, yeah, you trying to play with me? No. You setting a precedent that I'm not allowing.
That's right, babe. Put your foot down with these hoes.
Yeah, but you got to get burned a couple times before you get to that. Before you get to that level. Before you get to that level, you got to get burned a couple times and get hurt a little bit before you be like, okay, motherfuckers don't move. People don't move with like pure intentions when it comes to dating. People don't move in good faith when it comes to dating, and a lot of guys get slapped upside the head with that realization that like women are capable of doing this type of shit to you. And you're like, what the fuck? So like, and a lot of times when that happens, that hurt turns into anger, and then all the women feel the wrath behind that. But sometimes you just got to take it like, yo, yeah, it's fucked up, but also realize that, yo, women are assholes too. And just take it as case by case basis and move appropriately, and just be like, all right, cool. You just got to realize that like not all women move with pure intentions when it comes to dating. A lot of women just trying to finesse. A lot of women just try to see where they can get away with it. They don't give a fuck. It was like, I'm just gonna phone it in and watch how they still dance to my strings, and then it's up to you to be like, fuck no, or dance to her strings.
Dance, nigga. Dance.
Yeah.
I would add a caveat that it's a mixture of intentions, and it's a mixture of intentions and values. Not everybody has the same value system. To them, it might be like, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. I'm just disorganized. Like, you got to love me for who I am.
No one's told her no before. No one's told her no before. No one's checked her. There is that, but also no one's checked her. And then because no one's checked her, she continues to do it, and then suddenly, that's just how I am. No one's told me this was. No one's told me that this was unacceptable behavior. So this is just how I am. And I am surprised that someone's like, no, what? No, this is who I am. Are you mad at me for being me? Like, no, I'm mad at you for being rude as fuck. So I think a lot of times it's like not enough people to whom she cares about have checked her. If you just dudes who like, I'm let's just see if those people checked us. Don't give a fuck. Like I'm giving you a shot. I'm what ifing you. I'm doing you a favor. But if it was like the dude that she really, really like, and she tried. Well, first of all, she wouldn't do that to a dude who she's really fucking with. She'd
try it.
No, off the first date. If that was the checks my list, she not playing on him.
No, I don't think that she would play in that same way. But that kind of behavior of like, I do what I want. I get my way. It's going to come up in some way, and that's she is going to try it. It may not look exactly the same, but that's what I'm saying. I guess like a lack of communication, not being kind to people, being rude, being inconsiderate. It shows up in different ways in different relationships, and everybody has a different tolerance level for it. And so I think you're right. Like the at least guy gets the worst of it, but it still exists because we're human. Like we all can be inconsiderate and unkind and rude and like be selfish. It's human nature. It's something that we all do. And so I think when it happens in their relationship with someone that they value, it'll be a slip up, right? It may not be as intentional.
Or I tried to stop it, but like it's so ingrained in me that it slipped out unintentionally, and then okay,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that
I can see that
they're going to do it in the exact same way, but it probably will happen because if, like, to your point, like if nobody has checked you, there hasn't been a space where you've been held accountable for your actions. It probably is really easy for you to do something that is inconsiderate and be like, "Why are you tripping?"
Ain't no one's ever had a problem with it, so it must be a you thing. But enough people start saying, "Hey, you're doing something that is inconsiderate." I would hope that they would be like, "Oh, maybe I am being an asshole here," and check it, but it may not always happen. So to that point, to bring it back around to this guy here, you earlier you said that if this happens to you a lot, it's very easy for us to kind of blame ourselves. Like, this is my fault. There's something wrong with me. Why this keeps happening to me? To a point that is true. Like, it's not really a good idea to jump and start automatically assuming that what you're doing is wrong or it's your fault in some way. But at the same time, if you're finding that the women or men, whoever is in this situation, this is happening to you on a frequent basis, that you constantly getting stood up, or you constantly talking and get ghosted. You like you gotta ask yourself the question, like, am I doing something that is like turning these people off and or what have you, or what am I doing that is constantly attracting these type of people into my life? Either one of those things, you have some kind of control, some sort of tie to that you can maybe be able to change. You can't change how other people act, but what are you doing that's allowing these people to like infiltrate your space and put you and get you in these situations? Is there signs that you're missing earlier on that you just blinded by, so you keep going on, and then boom, bing, bang, boom, you get stood up? Maybe you need to evaluate that, or maybe you're just not. These aren't your people. This isn't your tribe. You're swimming in waters that you shouldn't be swimming in.
That's fair. Like, you gotta like who likes you. I think that's a part of it. So for that part of like, why am I attracting the same type of person? Why are you attracted to that same type of person? That is also a good question. Because it's not necessarily like always who you bring in. It's like who you allow in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, as a woman, there's mad men who are attracted to you. You know which one that you feel a similar pull towards, and which ones you're like, I don't even see you as a sexual being. Please don't talk to me, sir. And the person that you feel the pull toward, especially if it's the same type of person over and over again, what's the common theme amongst all of them? Like, what do they all have in common? Whether it be a positive thing or a negative thing. It's like, oh, I only like men with, beautiful teeth. Great, that's fine. That's no problem. That can be a preference that you have. Keep it. Oh, I keep dating the same man with the same type of mommy issue. Red flag. Something is wrong. Something in what you're attracted to about them, or something that you've heard them say that lets you know that they have a mommy issue, should be something that automatically checks off as a red flag for you if you hear it come out of the mouth of the next man that you're dating. I think that it's that simple. Like, if you almost like a pros and cons list, like, okay, if all of my exes have these things in common, which one of these things are positive things that I think that I like, that I would like to keep and continue to look for in the people that I'm dating? Which of these things are cons, like things that like are common threads that highlight something that is happening for me and who I'm attracted to and who I'm attracting that maybe I should address. And that could be something that you address alone. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you address with the other person. It could be something that you talk to your therapist about. Like, I keep attracting men with mommy issues. Okay, tell me a little bit more about that. Well, it seems like when I attract these men, it's because like I'm very nurturing. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit more about why you're nurturing. What was your relationship with your mom like? Rada. And you go down this rabbit hole where you learn something about like, oh shit, like I have a strong desire to take care of the person that I'm in a relationship with. That's a really positive thing. But in a person who has this deficit where they have a mommy issue,
that's attracted to them.
Exactly.
I want to get taken care of.
Exactly. And that's not the type of person that I want to be with, because I've already noted that like my preference is for my partner to be a provider. My preference is for my partner to share in the caretaking, that I take care of them and they take care of me. But if I'm in a relationship with a person who has this deficit, they're only going to be looking for me to take care of them. I ain't your mama.
In that aspect, yes, for sure. Not because like the whole "I'm not your mama" is such a
loaded.
Such a loaded like buzzword that like women throw at man. I ain't your mama. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
When
you're my mama. Like my mom was amazing. Like like my mom loved me. Like, you know, she treated me well.
You can have some comment. You like, probably should have some things in common.
Like,
yeah.
But then, you know, like I think I meant 30 before, but then they turn around and be like, my daddy was, you know, the shit to me. And if he can't do what he did for me, I'm like, then I'm not your daddy. So when your dad took care of you, I'm not him. Not him. Mush. Shoe fly.
You're a villain.
Yeah, I'm not your daddy. Your dad treated you well. I'm not him. Go to your daddy.
You're a villain.
See how that sound? But yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You did.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But I think I was wrapping up.
Okay.
So go ahead. I feel like you wrote something down.
Yeah, but that's probably going to be my final food for thought. Ooh. I want to get into because we look at that time. You know what I'm saying?
We should do the thing.
Yeah, we're going to do the thing now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to...
Oh, read the email?
Yeah, we're going to read the email.
Read it?
You want to read it? All right.
I was a great reader in school. I was also an English teacher back in the day.
Mm-hmm. She was probably she was probably one of the ones that like raised her hand first. Like, yeah, I want to start. I want to read first. I want to read. I'm looking forward to it.
Diction.
You know what I'm saying? Some people was like counting the people ahead of them so they
popcorn.
so they can figure out what line they were responsible for, and then ignore it the rest of the class so they can practice them lines that they know they're going to be responsible for. So by the time it got to you, you can read. You can read it better. I know how y'all got down.
Y'all, or is this a true story?
That's literally a true story. Now, and that didn't happen to me.
A real story for you.
That's definitely a real story. And I've done it when I first, during the beginning phases of that, when I wasn't confident in my reading ability. Mm-hmm. I always bodied. I'm a good reader. All right, so yeah, this is our one. This is a listener email sent to us with a package delivered to us.
Big package.
Now, Sam, we're gonna open it after she reads this email. Who's it from?
This is from Crystal.
Little sis.
It is. Dear Brandon and Cece, I hope this email finds you both well. I wanted to send you a personal testimony in conjunction with your gift. I appreciate you both for first and foremost, allowing us into your space every week and being vulnerable with us. That has done so much for me and even encouraged me to be intentional and consistent when it comes to my mental health and relationships. Please accept this award as a token of appreciation for your consistency and dedication to the Buffet podcast. You all are reaching and teaching so many people with your gifts, and I want to say on behalf of your fans, thank you. Oh, fans. Please continue to bless us with your knowledge, spicy jokes, and effortless bars/gems. Shout out to We Up Counseling and Consulting as well. I'll make sure to pass that along to my followers. As always, continue to use your platform to shine your light on the world and uplift the culture. P.S. It's time to collect them donations.
Dr. Umar, shout out.
And my Dr. Umar Johnson voice. Peace and love, Crystal, active listener and sister.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, sister.
Mm-hmm. nation building for four back shots. Thank you so much, Crystal. We appreciate you and love you. And shout out to all of our listeners. I don't know if y'all are fans, but if you are a fan, we rock with that too.
Appreciate you. Yeah, we love who love we love who love us. We like who like us. You know
sorry for anyone who's listening and all this
noise. Yeah, so we unraveling. She sent us a little song.
Oh, how cute.
Oh, it's this way. The Buffet Podcast. Congratulations, Brandan and Ciandra, on your 100th episode.
Woo.
Oh, got us a little clear star for those who ain't watching us. A little clear star.
It's very cute.
You may not be able to see.
Now I feel like we definitely need floating shelves.
See if y'all can see that.
I'll get your YouTube on. Put the hand behind, babe.
It doesn't work.
Oh,
because it's clear. But it says the Buffet Podcast. Congratulations. It's lit.
Yay!
Shining star.
No matter who you are.
I was trying to remember.
Shining bright to see who you can truly be.
Thank you, Krista. We really appreciate it. Thank you. There we go. One. 5 gunshot salute.
Yeah.
Our first gifts to the podcast for the 100th episode.
Yay. Thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you again. So
we receive all the love.
Yeah. Keep up the good stuff. I wish you much luck and success in all your endeavors.
Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm sorry. You got anything else you want to add? We want to going straight into transition to final food for thought.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
All right. You got something or you want me to go in?
I really need to do a better job of thinking of what my final food for thought is before we get to it. Because I feel like it surprises me every single time.
And I've been like unintentionally transitioning into mine without knowing over the last several episodes. But I got something.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So my final food for thought is each of us are responsible for our outcomes. We all have a responsibility and an accountability for the outcomes that we receive in this life, specifically in this dating game. You know what I'm saying? If you're not getting what you want, that's something that you got to look within. So a little bit, of course, you know what I'm saying? There is no accounting for, fuckery and acts of God, so to speak. You can't account for, other people moving in bad faith or what have you, but you can change how you move. You can change, how you present yourself and how you show up in dating, in the talking stage and the dating stage and the relationship stage and all those things. So each of us is responsible for the outcomes that we're receiving in life. And that's across the board.
Yeah, I like that. I was thinking along the same lines, really just that, well, to your point, that your process determines your outcomes. So you gotta, this is a word to James Clear, you got to fall in love with the process and not in love with the outcomes, because the process is the thing that you're going to do most often, especially as it relates to dating. Like spending time with the person that you decide you want to have as your life partner, you're going to do that shit every day. Every day. So if you don't fall in love with that person during the process, if spending time around that person is not comfortable, is not good for you, it's no reason to let's just see. It ain't no reason, because that's going to be your life. If that's what you're dating for, if your intention behind dating is to marry and be in a long-term relationship, you don't need to let's just see that. So that's my first point. And then the second thing that I was thinking is all of this is data. All of this is information that you're dating in general is just data. It's information that you're collecting to help better you as a person, potentially better you as a partner in the future, and help you learn things about yourself. If you approach it with that viewpoint and that mindset, that can help limit some of the self-worth that comes into our experiences with other people, right? Like, I didn't get chosen. That means I'm not good enough. No, that means they didn't choose you. Why didn't they choose you? How can you make yourself more desirable? Like, approach it with that mindset. Like, try to be a little bit more scientific with it. And that process becomes a little bit more fun. It's like, when I wear this, I get this type of attention. When I get my hair cut like this, I get this type of attention. With a beard, the hose is on me. Without a beard,
crickets.
They don't want me.
Yeah,
like you have an opportunity to get feedback on a pretty consistent basis, especially if you're on the apps. Like, you can get feedback real quick. In your approach, like what you say, how you say, all that kind of stuff can help. Changing your dating profile, all of that is just data that you are able to collect about how you're being received, and then what you can do if you're interested in it to make yourself more desirable and more attractive to the type of person that you want to be with.
Yeah, to your point, the scientific thing, that is real. I've heard stories about how some women be getting so when I say some women, I mean women of, let's say, different ethnicities. When it comes to like trying to find a man, get chose and stuff like that, they ruthless with it. What they I think I heard someone told me a story. There's like, yeah, girl, had a couple of dogs. They loved them to death. They met a dude they liked. The motherfucker was allergic. Dog's gone next day. Gone. Bye. They been married, about to have a kid. What are you willing to do to get the outcomes that you?
That's true. What's more important to you?
Yeah, what's more important to you? And I know, and for a white person to say, give up the dog. You know she was about that life. You know she wanted that man. Yeah. And also quick tip to the fellas out here who's out here trying to date, trying to improve their odds and do the dating apps. Yo, get you an outdoor picture, bro. Get you a picture of you doing something outside. Like hiking, you know what I'm saying, in the woods. Get some, something that God created in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Waterfall.
Yeah. Yep. That will help you. I'm pointing to my left right now because I was told I did we do that? I feel like we did which picture I did it for me.
It was two things. The picture outside, I was like, oh, I love to be outside. You like to be outside? That's good. And the picture with the beard. Brandon used to have a goatee.
Yeah, I used to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Had a full beard, and sometimes I just, I just had to
waited.
Go,
I scrolled to the bottom and saw that full beard, and I was like, "Please, Lord Jesus, let this man have a beard when I see him in person."
Yeah, so the outdoor picture, and also just better pictures in general. I've been told that guys take atrocious pictures of themselves.
Cut them group pictures out.
No, yes,
because I'm like your homeboy.
That's I think that's true for. Both
sides. Yeah. Cut them group pictures out. Unless you can do not a group, you can do a picture with one other friend. Just to be like, all right, I got homegirls. Like, just so you know, sometimes it's like, oh, I got diverse homegirls. Like, oh, all my homegirls don't look exactly like me, or we got different aesthetics. Okay, good. Have a picture with one homegirl. 4 or 5 of y'all in the picture, right. He's gonna like somebody else. He's comparing. Yeah. That's what happens once you put yourself in a group picture.
I was just about to say that.
Now it's much easier for me to compare. At first, it was just you versus the last
you the ugly girl. You the least attractive one in the group. Okay, I know what type of time we're on. That can, how they had. We were supposed to be to wrap up. We keep going. You know how there is like the study of like the birth order and how that determines like how some of your personality and stuff like that. The same thing, group dynamics. Like, if you show me the good picture and I'm judging in my eyes, like, okay, you are somewhere in the middle. Are you like very comparable to all your friends? Okay, cool. You like the one that don't look as good as your other friends. Your self-esteem is lower. I could probably get away with more with you. Are you the hottest girl to pick? Okay, you probably got a little bit of mean girl energy in you. I'm not saying that changes how I approach it, but that is a calculus. And that being said, gentlemen, you come across women in their profiles, and there's a lot of group pictures, her and a bunch of friends. Whoever is the least attractive one, would you hit? Then swipe right. So he's like, because sometimes you don't know. You got to go through a bunch of different pictures to figure out whose profile is it. So I was like, a quick hand to get around all that is just like, if whatever group picture you see, just see all of them, whichever one is the least attractive to you. Would you still pursue that least attractive person? All right, cool. Then go ahead and swipe right on that. You're welcome. I probably saved you, I don't know, 2 seconds.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Buffet Podcast, episode 100. And if you haven't already, why haven't y'all like and subscribe?
He tired of talking to you.
I'm tired.
You making my man exasperated.
Y'all hard-headed, man.
My man.
Y'all hard-headed.
You too,
know what I'm saying?
man.
Y'all hard-headed, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hard-headed, man. What y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all listening, y'all involving, y'all rock with us, but y'all can't hit a button. See? I know. Yeah, that tells me something about y'all.
Ooh.
The people who ain't following.
Wow.
Who watching us, laughing and enjoying our content, but don't want to reciprocate.
Commitment issues.
And reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? People do something, you know what I'm saying? You're not trying to show your love too. You know what I'm saying?
We giving you all this.
Hit the button, y'all. Hit the button of the subscribe. Subscribe. Yeah. All right, I'm tired of this. All right, y'all have a good rest of y'all week. We love y'all. We hope to see y'all next week when we are back with another episode. Peace and Pan-Africanism, my brothers and sisters.
Stop.
Peace.
Building before back shots.